Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today I have another deck profile for you, and this is going to be a Orcus deck profile. I actually am really curious of how this deck was like functioning in the modern day because, man, I was like trying to figure something out with this deck, but I kind of just ended up going back to the old way the deck was played, like all the way back in like 2019, and man, it's it's something. You're gonna see the list and you're gonna say, Jared, what the hell is this? But I promise you it works. I don't think this is competitive, but it is funny and fun and enjoyable if you have the cards. But it is a mess of a deck. So I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you do. Let me know what you are doing with Orcus down below because I really want to know. Because cannot find anything that for modern day standards I can get this deck to work like the way I want it to. So again, let's just jump into the deck profile and let me know what you guys think. Okay, here is the deck list. There is a lot going on this deck. Obviously, this deck is 60 cards. So when I say I'm taking this deck back to the old way this deck was played, I am insinuating on the Gizmek Orochi strategy of being able to send this card through something like Orcus Nightmare, because this card sends just Dark Machines. So you can send Gizmek, and then you have a pretty much perpetual level 8 monster that you can constantly bring back for free, quote unquote, because of your deck size. So this gives you this helps your Orcus, not your Orcus package, your Horus package a lot. Getting the rank 8s and getting into your Galaxy Photon Ward to play around certain hand traps and act as an interruption. At the same time, you're also playing a bazillion danger monsters to get through your deck, 2 to make your turn 1 stronger, to be able to either get into Coach King or again the Galaxy Eyes or Zombie Vampire. But like to dig deeper to get into either Sending Nightmare, so you can get to Gearsu or Scrapper Cycler or something like that. There's a lot of ways to get this deck going. It's not linear at all, obviously. Like this is just very mishmash. But I would say like the end board you're shooting for is going to be the Galaxy Award with Babylon Field, IP Masquerena, and sometimes if you have Crescendo, if you draw Crescendo or Babel, you can get the other one. And then also with like Symbol Skeleton and Graveyard, so that you are able to go on your opponent's turn, you can go Symbol Skeleton, bring back Ding, Ding send a card, Masquerena to link away the Ding and the IP to go into SP to banish a card, and then SP's second effect to banish another card on top of the Galaxy Award negate. So the reason I like this so much is because it's not like interruptions on board. Like it's not something like Infernal Knight where like if you clear the monsters, you are like home free, or like Runic where if, it's something more of Runic where you have the Babel on the field and the Babel is acting as interruptions, not just the monsters that are currently present on the field. So it makes the board a lot harder to clear and layered and annoying to deal with. Also, this deck I think is a powerhouse at going second because of how many big monsters that you have, and you can threaten the battle phase extremely easily. So with things like the Horus monsters and the danger monsters together, along with the Gizmek, you have a lot of ways where you can push through and just push and do a lot. I also have hand traps in here still. You might be able to take these out for something like Pot of Desires could fit in here. I'm not going to recommend Upstart Goblins in a 60 card deck, but they can, because there is a purpose to that, because you are just making it 57 cards, but you are still getting the bonuses that you were getting of the Gizmek Orochi. So like playing Upstart in something in a deck like this could be relevant. Like even Prosperity, you could be not Prosperity, you're drawing way too much with the dangers. So I don't know, like there's so many ways you can play this deck and the Orcus deck and like Horus and dangers. Like there's so many ways you can go about it, especially with like Scrapper Cycler. So let me know what you guys think. I'm actually really curious of what you're doing with Orcus, but this is what I am currently at right now. I have like a lot of hand traps in here for going second and I want to push through. So let's just like, get right into it. I should have organized this better before I started doing this, but whatever. For hand traps anyways, we have 3 Ash, 3 Troll, 3 Veiler, 3 Bell, 3 Imperm. So I have these hand traps in here for pretty much like all of the meta, like Vanadium and Labyrinth are like my 2 biggest concerns, and then I also have like more generic ones like Veiler and Imperm for stuff like Rescue Wish that's still going to be floating around, or anything else, like anything like that. Whatever other random decks are going to be around, because there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a very wide, diverse format still. So I think these hand traps are all fine. Like they all will do something in the current format. After that, I want to talk about the danger package. So we have 3 Bigfoot, 1 of the Chupacabra, 1 Mothman, 3 Nessie, 2 Ogopogo, 3 Thunderbird, 1 Jackalope, and 1 Tsuchinoko. Yeah, you just like want like level 8s and draw, like level 8 draw, and then like being able to discard like the bad Horus cards out of your hand, or the Nightmare, or Harp Horror, or anything like that. Really, really strong. These cards can be very frustrating to deal with. On the other side of the table, being able to get random pops too as well is like going second can be a pain. So these are like just dangers are like both your best friends or your worst nightmare, depending on how your luck is that day. To be honest, because dangers can be like ridiculously broken. So yeah, I have this ratio again because it's level 8s. I know I could be playing something like Dugars in the extra deck to maybe get like the draw 2, draw 1, the draw 2, discard 1. But again, if like figures like this is not like a set in stone list. Like I encourage people to like switch things around and like go in the comments and like put their suggestions and stuff like that because I want to make these things like videos that you can go back to and like look in the comments and see other people's suggestions as well. Yeah, so moving on from the danger cards and the hand traps, I'm gonna get into the actual like Orcust cards now. We have the 3 Gearsu, this is actually the first time in Yu-Gi-Oh! For TCG where we've had Gearsu plus Harp Horror. So it's actually kind of exciting that we get to use both of these cards. It's not as like amazing as you would think, and it lets you understand why OCG hasn't been like doing a lot with it because if I remember right, they've had it for a good amount of time and they don't really use it. So yeah, it's not like anything like ridiculously broken, but it's definitely something that synergizes extremely well, obviously. This card being a Mech Knight card could come up. There might be some side deck lines where maybe you can put in Mech Knight cards in the side deck to search this, like purple, blue. But again, that's going to be up to you and your deck building process for side decking, right? 1 Brass Bomber. This helps like unbrick some hands, getting stuff out of your hand. 2 copies of Symbol Skeleton. You don't want to get caught without this card. If you banish 2 off of the Gizmek, it's really unfortunate. So like before you start Gizmecking, it's ideal to get 1 Symbol Skeleton and then the 1 Harp Horror out of the deck and the World Wand. So you just get them all out as fast as you can. So you don't need World Wand, but just like it's nice. Like get like Symbol Skeleton, Harp Horror, and Babel out. Once you get those 3 out, just everything else, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what's getting banished. You really don't care. So like your like turn 2 is like gets really good because of that. Again, 1 Harper free off the list, very nice. Hopefully this card can come to more than 1, but for now, just 1. 3 Nightmare. Nightmare is a good card to hit off of the danger cards, and discarding off of the King Sarcophagus is very nice with it. And then 1 World 1 for just like more recursion, very nice to have. Scrap Recycler I have in here as the other normal summon along with Gearsu. I'm not sold on this card yet. I know there's other lines that play Scrap Golem with the Scrap Wyvern, but I am not sold on it. Feel free to try it if you want to. I'm just not a big fan of it. I like getting my 2 Scrap Recycler effects off if I link it off with a danger to go into Wyvern and then just like dump Symbol Skeleton and Harper and then just go from there. But I'm sure there's other ways you can do these lines that do other stuff as well. So maybe Golem is the right way to do it. I don't know, but this is just where I'm at currently. So yeah, and then after this we have the Horus engine where I have the 3 Seti, the 1 Happy, and then the 1, I'm going to try to pronounce that, the Protection of the Horus. Yeah, so I have 3 in here because I want to be able to go into Coach King in case you just like get unlucky with dangers and you can like fix yourself a little bit. It's also like really easy to make, but I also like mainly I want to go into Galaxy Eyes as a protection and interruption because you can do this pretty early, pretty consistently, obviously with all the dangers and the Horus cards and Gizmek. So it's like really easy to get to these points. So yeah, like the Horus cards are like outstanding in this deck and they fit so well. So again, I hope this like sticks around for like this. I hope this deck sticks around and that the Horus cards are a part of it because I feel like they synergize so well. And then yeah, like for other stuff I have in here, Call by the Grave, just a good card right now. Like this could be anything really. It doesn't have to stay Called by the Grave, but it's fine. Foolish Burial, of course, you can dump Harp Horror or any of the other Orcus cards. The Babel, again, like you want to get this out of the deck as soon as possible before you start Gizmecking just to be safe. I have 1 Orchestrator Return in here just because you can do some cute lines with it if you already drew Babel, or you like drew Crescendo. You don't need to get if you like later in the game maybe you can use Return to get that extra draw too. Helps a lot to clear Galatea, and then Crescendo being the counter trap that also searches randomly because this card's like really good for the second effect. So just nice to have. For the extra deck, we have the 1 Coach King. Coach King being able to draw 3. Crazy. Also, if you ever randomly go into time, randomly could burn too. And judging by how many monsters are in this deck, it can burn. 2 copies of Dingirsu. Great card. Excellent card, of course. Like, so versatile for this deck. Everything this deck needs. being able to send away this being the interruption from the graveyard with Symbol Skeleton like adds so much like annoyance and hindrance for a lot of decks, right? Like imagine being like a rescue ace deck and you have like a million ways to deal with like the what's on the board, but like you don't have a way to deal with something in the graveyard, right? Like they imperm your IP Masquerena, and you're like, okay, cool, like now I can just like keep playing, but it's like, oh wait, there's like this ding in the graveyard that can just send away my Turbulence when it's on the field. So non-targeting too, so it's not even like emergency, you can like save that Turbulence. It's a really annoying card. Zombie Vampire, this can like sack your way to victory sometimes, like milling like Horus cards or Orcus cards. So I'm not sold on this card yet, but again, like this brings like this mill, bring something back, go into SP Little Knight, like pretty strong. Like it turns like 2 monsters. It's like a pseudo like Dark Charmer in a way, where you can like 2 level 8s, go into this, special something out, go into go into SP, so you get the banish effect on summon. Still really good. I already talked about Galaxy Eyes. Access Code Talker, it's just a dark that can go for game. That's like the biggest thing. So being able to just OTK your opponent because you have so much OTK potential in this deck. But you're really only going to be able to banish 2 attributes in this deck, but like it's fine. I just wanted something to like kill. 2 copies of Galatea, being able to set, of course. 2 copies of IP Masquerena. This is like your main interruption tool, and I want you to have it like both turn 1 and turn 3. If you somehow don't win the game by that point and it grinds out a little bit longer, I want you to be able to keep making like IP Masquerenas and SP Little Knights to just keep going and going and going, because like these cards are so annoying to deal with and so frustrating, especially if you already have an SP Little Knight going. Then you can like do like have an SP Little Knight going, and on top of that you can go into like a Unicorn too, and then that will also be an interruption with the IP still and not interfere with the SP Little Knight that's still coming back. 1 copy of Long Gear Sue. This card doesn't come up a lot, but I still want it in here just because it can come up, and if that makes any sense. It's length 3, it's like pretty solid, it's not anything crazy, but I'd rather have the option not have the option. You actually have a good amount of extra space in here, but if there's any other suggestions down here you want to put, feel free to let me know. But so far, I like Long Gear Sue in here just as the option. And then the 2 SP Little Knights, again, like, I just think this card's really good, obviously. Like, this card's ridiculous. If you're at, like, top competitive play, this card's really important. For this deck, you probably can cut this card, but again, like, obviously this card's just the best. Like, being able to go IP Unicorn, still fine, but this is just way stronger in every way. Sorry for budget players, but this card is just really good. And Scrap Wyvern, again, for the Scrap line, and if you want to play Scrap Golem, feel free. So yeah, this is the deck. Let me know what you think down below, because I was really trying to get Orcust to feel good in 2023, and it was really difficult because of how the game has progressed and how these cards are just like dated, I guess, like in the way that they function. Like there's so many cards you didn't want to draw. That's where like the Dangers and the Horus cards came in. So now you just have these cards that you want to get out of your hand into your graveyard to use them. So the Horus cards help with that, Dangers help with that. But like deck building wise, it is a little bit frustrating at times. And obviously not every hand is going to be like these super playable hands, but a lot of times you only need one of like a gold, like a King Sark to resolve, or just getting to like maybe like the Coach King, or like just getting the Gear Sue, or just getting the Scrap. You just need like one thing to go, and then like you're just like boom, off to the races. So let me know what you guys think down below. I'm really curious. This is like a big free play deck, so if you like just doing free play, like no straight combo, you just like think in the middle of the game, this is definitely the deck for you. It's nice playing Orcust again. It's been a hell of a long time. I really didn't play with it back then, so it's nice being able to pick it up again, like for pretty much the first time, to be honest, and like mess around with it. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you did. And again, any suggestions, highly appreciate it down in the comments. So until next time, I will see you later. Bye, guys.